I don't believe in the politics of personal destruction. That is what has helped put our country in the position we are today. But what I will do is I will hold you accountable for your track record and your performance over 25 years in the U.S. Senate and Congress.
Looking to unseat Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin, Republican Eric Hovde making it official this past week, launching his bid for U.S. Senate during an event in Madison.
This is Hovde's second run for Senate after losing in 2012 the Republican primary to former Governor Tommy Thompson, who went on to lose to Baldwin.
Several other Republicans are considering, including Franklin businessman Scott Mayer and former Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark. Let's bring in Ben Wickler, chairman of the Democratic Party of Wisconsin. Ben, good to see you.
Great to be here.
Of course, we just saw that Eric Hovde is officially in the U.S. Senate race. How close do you think that this race is going to be?
This is Wisconsin, so you have to expect every election to be 50-50 until proven otherwise. That said, I know Mitch McConnell picked Eric Hovde to move from California and try to run against Tammy Baldwin so he can ban abortion. But Wisconsin voters are not seeing someone who understands their lives when they look at Eric Hovde. It's a real contrast to Tammy Baldwin, who is crisscrossing our state constantly and is fighting for Wisconsin working families no matter where she goes and what she does.
There's a ton of Wisconsin voters who say they don't know enough about Hovde yet to have really a big opinion on him. In terms of Senator Baldwin, 45% of registered voters say they view her unfavorably, 42% favorable. That's about the same as the president's job approval. Is that concerning to you as we sit here less than 9 months out?
Every passing day, more Wisconsinites will learn how Tammy Baldwin wrote the provision to bring down the cost of insulin for people on Medicare. They will remember that she is the person who wrote the law that allows people under 26 to pay to stay on their parents' health insurance. And they will hear over and over about Tammy Baldwin's work to fight for reproductive freedom. She's the lead sponsor of the bill that would put the protections of Roe versus Wade back into place for Wisconsinites, for all of America.
Should Senator Baldwin be campaigning with the president here in Wisconsin, and do you think we're going to see that?
I think we're going to have a ton of visits from President Biden, Vice President Harris. I encourage every Democrat to, and I know that they are fighting to make sure that our top of the ticket wins here, and I'm sure they'll be campaigning together. This is an opportunity for us to win up and down the ballot, because the core issue in this election, the contrast between MAGA extremism, the abortion bans, the book bans, trying to overturn elections, and common sense decency that you see from Tammy Baldwin, from Joe Biden, you see it with Governor Evers. That contrast between a Democratic Party that understands working people and fights for them and believes in things that most people want.
When you talk about top of the ticket, what do you make of the new special counsel report that was out that described the president, and Republicans are going to use this until campaign day, as an elderly man with poor memory? There's a lot of Wisconsinites who think he is too old to run for president.
Look at the special counsel report. This is a Republican appointee who spent $3.5 million, interviewed more than 100 witnesses, and for the first time, a special counsel doing this kind of investigation found that there was no chargeable offense. That President Biden did the right thing when it came to classified documents, as he does the right thing every single day. He took some pot shots. I think when you look at every person who interacts with President Biden on the job, Republicans like Kevin McCarthy said, he criticizes Biden and talks about his age in public, but in private, he found him to be incredibly sharp. That's why President Biden runs circles around every Republican that he negotiates with and has gotten more through Congress to deliver for the people of Wisconsin and the American people than any president in my lifetime.
I want to ask about the new maps that Governor Tony Evers just signed into law. You called it a sea change moment for democracy. What do you make of the fact that Democrats voted against the Democratic governor?
Well, in the legislature, there's always the concern that Robin Vos is trying to pull a fast one. And when Robin Vos got excited about passing these maps, it raised the question of whether Vos had some kind of legal strategy to attack the maps. You can talk to Democrats across the state legislature. They're thrilled that we have finally ended the era of partisan gerrymandering.
How involved will the state party be in some of these legislative races this fall?
The state party will be working very closely with Greta Neubauer and Dianne Hesselbein, the Assembly and Senate Democratic leaders, with their caucuses, with Democrats up and down the ballot to fight in every corner of Wisconsin to flip the Assembly majority and lay the groundwork for flipping the Senate majority.
Democratic Party of Wisconsin Chairman Ben Wickler. Ben, like always, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate your having me on.
Up next, more state money for Wisconsin's voucher schools, and now the impact inside the new multi-million-dollar investment. Next.